Bryan Gaiser is an investment advisor representative of Advisory Alpha LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. All opinions expressed by Bryan Gaiser are solely his own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This recording is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Investment advisory and financial planning services offered through Advisory Alpha LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance, coaching, and educational services offered through Gaiser Financial Group. Gaiser Financial Group is a separate and unaffiliated entity of Advisory Alpha LLC. While tax and legal services may be discussed in the general course of financial and investment planning, Advisory Alpha does not provide tax or legal services. Please consult with your tax or legal professional prior to making decisions related to these issues. This material is not endorsed or approved by the Social Security Office or any other government agency. An annuity is a long-term financial product designed largely for asset accumulation and retirement needs. All guarantees are backed by the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. All opinions expressed by externally cited sources are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. The case studies presented reflects the specific circumstances of one client and should not be considered a guarantee that another client or potential client may experience the same or certain level of results. This is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as investment recommendations or solicitation. Names have been changed to protect the anonymity of clients and are not testimonials in nature. Learn, grow, and take charge of your retirement. This is the Wealth Through Wisdom podcast with financial advisor Bryan Gaiser, founder of Gaiser Financial Group.
So many of us have heard about Bruce Willis. He was diagnosed with dementia 3 years ago now, and his wife Emma has been caring for him. Recently, her family actually came to her expressing their concerns about her well-being, saying that it's just become too much to care for Bruce on her own in the house, the demands that it is for a person in that space. So now she has found him a memory care facility where he stays and is taken care of. But Bryan, the conversation about long-term care, especially memory care facilities, the cost point of these things. Some people, listen, this is Bruce Willis we're talking about. He's got Bruce Willis money, right? Now, for those listening to us here at High Point and Greensboro and Winston-Salem, don't necessarily have the endless funds that the Willis family does. So when thinking about the cost of long-term care and how somebody can add that into their plan, and also thinking about the toll it can take, the emotional toll it can take on family, it also has a very high cost, Bryan. How do you help folks navigate this space?
You know, we're talking about Bruce Willis, ironically, in Die Hard. And he's really this is a way to die hard. And it's a hard life.
Yep.
My own mother. It truly is. It was a hard way to die.
Yeah.
The thing is in the beginning, it's hard on you because you're going, darn, I know my memory's not good. And I just was about to tell you something or whatever it may be. So we saw her go through that, put freezer stuff into the refrigerator, put all of these little
things, yeah.
And of course, you being their child, you're in denial. So dementia, it creeps in. You're in denial in the beginning, and then you realize this is a real thing.
Yeah.
Then you start going through the measures depending on your circumstance and how well you prepared. And so, sell mom's house, put her in a retirement community, and someone come and take care of her. Then the retirement community went to assisted living eventually. And this is a 9-year period.
Your mom went from the retirement because she needed more help, so you had to help her into, okay.
So what we did was we started out her house. Someone's coming over every so often. She agreed not to cook, but of course we had to keep an eye on her. But she loves her independence. That's the other thing we had to fight. And you can only imagine how independent Bruce Willis is.
Mm-hmm.
But then eventually it's harder on the family than it is the person because they're out of it. Right? They're in another world.
Right.
They believe whatever they believe in that moment. And that's the way it is. So I think that's where it really boiled down to. So she went from her house, selling her home, retirement community, assisted living, and then a short stint in a nursing home because nursing home's that next level.
Mm-hmm.
And then a little bit there, she went home. My sister's a retired nurse, so stayed with her for just a short while before she passed. But it was a 9-year window.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we do next?
Mm-hmm.
Always meeting with the family. And this couple that came in recently that had heard my story, because I've told this story before, said, I heard you talk about, there's an annuity out there that says, hey, you give $100,000, here's what your benefit will be relative to your age. So let's just say both their benefits was around $400,000 each on $100,000. Mm-hmm. All right, married couple. Very simple underwriting. That money is available to you, right? Because you could take 10% out. Of course, it'd lower your benefit, but that $100,000 gave them, let's say it gave them each $400,000 benefit, just to keep it simple. That $400,000 grows at 3% compound until the day they need it. And then it pays out over a 4-year period, right?
Okay.
So here's the beauty. A lot of people will not look into, Heather, long-term care insurance because, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. It goes up on you. This never goes up on you. It just pays you when needed.
Okay.
But let's say you never use it.
Yeah.
And let's say they say they put 100,000 in each account, one for him, one for her. They never use it. It's now about 130,000 10 years later. It's not going to make a lot of money, but it's the interest that's paying that premium, if you will.
Okay.
Right, in a sense.
Okay.
So now at 10 years, it has a benefit, say $500,000 that pays out over 4 years for you to be in a long-term care facility, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you die. You never use it. That 120, 130,000, whatever the balance is, goes to your family. They've made it a lot easier to deal with what I had to deal with my mother. And she refused long-term care insurance in the business. And she refused long-term care. But no. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. So it took a big chunk of her estate. I'm not worried about it from my standpoint. But in the beginning, when it bothered her till it didn't bother her, that was bothersome in itself. My gosh, I'm giving away my kids' inheritance. All of us have done well. We didn't need it. They had 5 children. So the bottom line is, when it comes to this concern, folks, don't put it off. Find out what your options are.
Right.
Well, here at Gaiser Financial Group, if you call right now, we'll show you some options. 336-586-5861. Once again, call right now, 336-586-5861. This can really tear a hole in your estate. This can really make it a huge headache. If Emma didn't have the money that Bruce had I'm sure she's made her own share of money. But the point is, if they didn't have that kind of money that just pays for that, it's just another expense. You would have been paying to live another way if you weren't in this nursing home at that same expense. He's probably got a $250,000 a year bill in Malibu somewhere, but he doesn't even know he's in the world. The bottom line is, do you want your kids to have that burden? If you don't want that burden on them, and that includes your entire plan, putting together a plan that says, look, dementia is a possibility. Nursing home's a possibility. We need to do something because we don't want to be a burden to our kids. We don't want to be a burden to each other. We want to make sure the other one can go on without us in the event something happens. And it will one day. Usually don't die on the same day. That's a rare occasion. So folks, once again, 336-586-5861. We help you plug the holes. My goal, I'm a risk manager is what I am, not just in the market, but on your whole situation, on your estate. That's my goal. And if I don't think you're doing something you should do, I'm going to be blunt and honest with you. Hey, you should be doing X, Y, and Z, but you make your own choice. So that number, again, give us a call right now, 336-586-5861. My mother, 9 years with Alzheimer's. And in there, I'll be honest, the toughest part in the early stages is like trying to chase around a 3-year-old. It is just so tough and it's sad and it just breaks your heart at the same time. But you're sitting there and you're looking, but I'll never forget that day I walked up to that assisted living facility going to take her out to eat. She forgot that I was coming. I told her that morning, but then I came and she's sitting there by her little friend out on the front porch of this assisted living facility, which is just down the street from my office here. And she died back in 2010. But I'll never forget that look she gave me and then realized, oh, it's you. Didn't know who I was. And that's something I'll never forget. And I want you to ease that burden on your kids. I want you to say, hey, look, we've taken care of our business. We can be taken care of. That in itself. There's no way to heal that. You just got to go through it. That day your parent looks at you and go, oh, it's you. I'll never forget that as long as I live.
The weight, that's what started this conversation about the family going to Emma Willis and being like, hey, we're worried about you because to your point with a lot of these diseases, the person that's diseased that's going through that illness, a lot of times they're okay. You know, you hear a lot of stories about my husband, both of his grandmothers had dementia and he will tell stories. They'll sit there smiling and granted, listen, there are always stories of struggle as well. But for a lot of these cases, they're okay. It's the burden that the family has to bear. And so this planning, this strategy that you help people with, It's about protecting your family.
Yeah. And just recently, though, I hope we're all as blessed as those. Just recently, they're on TV. They had about 6 or 7 soldiers ranging from the age of 99 to 107.
Yeah.
And they've all fought in World War II.
Yeah.
And one of them saying, God bless America. He was sharp, and he was just a young 103. And just listen to him. We can all hope that we're in that state of mind when we get there. Granted, you could sense a little bit of slowness, but then if you have hearing aids, I have hearing issues myself. You're going to be even a little slower down the road, right? Because of the hearing, because you're missing some things. But it also, from right now, it piques me. I'm looking to make sure I caught everything, But there's going to be a point when you're fully retired and you go,
Yeah.
But see, I don't even plan on retiring. That's what I think will keep me in the game. I'm 59 years old, and I want to keep doing this work. It's because I'm telling you, a big part of it, going through what I went through with my mother. My father, too, he had passed away about 14 years before her. And just to watch that struggle when he died, and then to watch that struggle, and he went way too early. And then watch that struggle as watch her just slowly peel away. That's some tough stuff. Being prepared for it won't heal it, but it certainly will help it greatly. It'll take a lot off because it's the people that are taking care of them that will get worn down. And usually that's the kids.
Yeah.
Kids with hearts anyway. So folks, once again, don't leave any box unchecked. That's what this appointment's all about. We're going to sit down for about an hour, and we're going to make sure you check the boxes. And then we're going to look at it from a way that we can help you. And you're at no cost, no obligation. Once again, this isn't about, hey, today and today only. We don't do that garbage. I'm here to advise you. I'm here to check the boxes. And I'm telling you, it's dear to my heart to help people. So that number is 336-586-5861. Once again, call right now, 336-586-5861. I would love, even if I could just fix 1 or 2 areas of your portfolio, 1 or 2 areas of your plan, that would make my day. Give us a call, 336-586-5861.
Thanks for listening to the Wealth Through Wisdom podcast. To learn more, visit geiserfinancial.com. Bryan Gaiser is an investment advisor representative of Advisory Alpha LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. All opinions expressed by Bryan Gaiser are solely his own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This recording is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Investment advisory and financial planning services offered through Advisory Alpha LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance, coaching, and educational services offered through Gaiser Financial Group. Gaiser Financial Group is a separate and unaffiliated entity of Advisory Alpha LLC. While tax and legal services may be discussed in the general course of financial and investment planning, Advisory Alpha does not provide tax or legal services. Please consult with your tax or legal professional prior to making decisions related to these issues. This material is not endorsed or approved by the Social Security Office or any other government agency. An annuity is a long-term financial product designed largely for asset accumulation and retirement needs. All guarantees are backed by the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. All opinions expressed by externally cited sources are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. The case studies presented reflects the specific circumstances of one client and should not be considered a guarantee that another client or potential client may experience the same or certain level of results. This is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as investment recommendations or solicitation. Names have been changed to protect the anonymity of clients and are not testimonials in nature.